No, it's mildly concerning because it's 4 cores. The second core starts 7 months later. It's like, damn, I might not be alive to finish the last 2 cores.
All right, we're going live just to go live. It's the nightmare. Remember, we're all going to be gone one day, and something else will continue on.
I'm just going to be like, this going to be my deathbed. Like, I never finished Bleach.
That's your last words? That's as the neurons are firing in your brain for the last time. Thoughts of Bleach are running through your head.
I'll never finish Bleach.
I'll never finish Bleach. Remember, we're all going to be gone one day. The podcast is live. That was fast, right?
Yeah.
I still had to look it up first.
Oh, that's your last words? That
seemed to me like it came
as the neurons are firing in your brain for the last time.
I don't think. I guess I must have said it.
Bleach are running through your head.
All right, you're in there.
Yeah. I'll never finish Bleach.
Not as fast as Knack.
The podcast is live.
Knack's back, baby.
That was fast, right?
When do we get Knack 3 for PS5?
Oh.
Let's make it happen. Jim Ryan.
Oh, God.
I don't think
Fucking chaos.
45 seconds somewhere.
I'm hearing like 85 different voices all at the same time. Oh.
Is my phone not on mute?
Knack's
No,
back, baby.
When do we get Knack 3 for PS5?
Oh, it's just bleeding over. You might want to pull in your mic because we lost you. 85 voices all at the same time. Is my phone not on mute?
Oh no, Richard.
Oh, wait, I can fix it. No, okay, I know what's up then. I can fix it. Is it the robot voice?
Oh wait,
You might want to pull in your
Is it
mic
the
'cause
robot
we
voice?
lost you.
it was a robot voice for a second, and I think it's.
I'm
It
good?
stopped.
85 voices all at the
Okay,
same
I
time.
see the fix, so let me know if I have to do it, because I see the fix. I muted myself, because...
Wait, I can fix it. Oh, okay, I know what's up then.
Yeah. All right, now this audio should be clean right here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was crackling a little bit, but yeah, I think it's good.
Listen to that bit, see if it goes through. About the
Absolutely not.
about the audio being clean. It should be fine. Renee's on there. Renee will tell us.
Yeah. All right, now this
it's
audio
clean.
should be clean right here.
Simple and clean audio.
I know what to look for. I'm an OBS master. I'm going to write the manual for 27.2.4 64-bit Windows. Do not update. This is the version to use.
This is the OBS version. Do not fuck with any more versions.
If you fuck up an update, I cannot help you fix OBS after this point.
Downgrade.
Cutter's very upset about the clothing being required.
Cutter, you do you, man. Renee, I should not be echoing any longer. You should notice no echo. Was it Cutter that was asking about clothing before?
This may be
so.
Cutter, you're at home watching us on Twitch or YouTube, so you can do you, man. Clothes, no clothes, inside, outside,
In a hot tub.
no hot tub. It's up to you.
time machine.
Hot tub time machine.
Ice bath.
Ice bath. The opposite of the hot tub. Cutter says no echo. Renee, you cannot watch us on YouTube and Twitch. You will hear an echo. Thank you, Cutter. Cutter, carry on with your naked
Echo.
activities.
You're on Wayward Son.
Cracking a cold.
Yeah, I thought I muted it. Was the
What's happening with YouTube?
for
Is that outside? Is that outside?
yeah, it is. It is outside. No, I brought it from it. I brought it from outside too. Inside. Friend of the show, Jeremy sent me a thing and said, "When you think you went mute, fart, unmute, but all you did was go unmute, fart, mute, and all people heard was silence, and then someone ripped ass, and then silence again."
Not the best kind.
I was just trying to save y'all from the canned pop. I think it could be loud.
I told you there was a thing in my somebody at my job did that where we were all on a meeting and they didn't mute, and then we heard the sink shipping in the toilet as they flush.
Hey, NOFODcast has been home to a similar activity.
Yeah, but we didn't hear the deuce go down. We just heard the urine.
Did not hear the deuce.
I mean, we heard the ship sinking with the water. It wasn't like you couldn't play it off like, I accidentally hit this. It's like
the ship's.
It was straight up.
It's a soundboard. It's a soundboard. I'm just playing around.
Never heard the ship sinking with the water before. It's pretty good.
What made it worse was that I was like, my coworker didn't hear it. It's like, it's like, it's this. I go back and listen to the.
Oh.
Had to go back and listen to the.
Why do we miss that second part every time? Had to go back and listen to the.
It's forever immortalized.
There we go. It's forever on the tape. So that's where it was like blocking you for the punchline every time.
Go to the tape.
Yeah.
Oh man, head to the tape. Do people say tape anymore? Or is that just a generational thing?
I don't know, because we still rewind.
Check the tape. What are we rewinding though? It sure as shit ain't tape. It ain't been tape for a long time.
Gives me 10 second options.
Go back and look at the tape. Oh man, y'all look at the feed. OBS is going crazy. I don't even know what to call it these days.
I'm not seeing anything going.
It takes it a minute. You guys went like minuscule.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah, we popped our.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we're tiny on the screen.
That went well. That's why I'll have to watch both feeds. Damn this thing.
Yay, OBS. Yay, free software.
Do we actually pay for like a slobs or something, like some integrated solution?
Slobs.
It's like Streamlabs OBS, right? Like official one?
I mean, so how much does it cost? How much would it cost?
I don't know. Brent's been known to sail the high seas and not pay for his I'll just keep ducking and dodges in windows.
What are you talking about? I'm a good citizen. I would never pirate any sort of.
Look at Brent.
software.
Brent's just taking over the screen. He's getting bigger and bigger. He just took over the whole screen. Now he shrunk.
As he opens up the drawer behind him and takes out the pirate hat.
Sailing the high seas.
Some Sea of Thieves. Some Bridge Crew. Pirate Edition.
I don't know, man. The mustache is gone. I don't know if you can pull it off anymore.
Yeah, it's filling in, Brent. Your mishap.
Yeah, it's filling
You
in.
recovered from your mishap.
We thought we were gonna Henry Cavill you in the next one and just erase your mustache off there.
Yeah, just
That's CG.
CG over the mustache.
Yeah, looks like super bad. Oh god.
Do you think he comes?
Forever immortalized?
This is kind of game related, but not quite news because we haven't quite started recording yet. Still somehow. But do you think he comes back to that Witcher role now that Superman's not really in the picture for him?
Well, the whole thing was him and the director of The Witcher were not meshing.
That's what
very
it
well.
was.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have changed the universe too much, right? For his liking.
I guess.
Yeah. Don't piss off Superman with your Witcher stories.
Well, now they're just shaking everything up.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying it's Witcher time anymore.
Oh, it's always Witcher time, Cesar. That's why no one has to elaborate. Everybody knows it's Witcher time. All right, let's get into this shit. Are we really on 239?
Let's go. Yeah, why not?
I stopped counting after 150.
Probably a good time. Probably a good time to call it. All right, let's do this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 239 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game podcast. Tonight, in this post-Christmas special episode, more seafood, anyone? Question mark. Did we not have enough the first go-around? I didn't have any.
I don't understand that.
Cheaper Game Pass? Question mark. I would like to know this as well. So, Cesar, sounds like you would like to know this as well. Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters update. I believe we had a rumor last time we brought this up. Amazon publishing the next Tomb Raider game. The Adventures of Bezos, maybe? Bezos Raider?
Yeah.
Wand of Bezos?
Oh, that's so weird. That's even
Bezos,
weirder.
Faces of Evil.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm just using the Zelda CDI games as
I
like
know
subtitles.
you did Wand to Bezos and then Bezos. Like,
Lara Croft and the Tomb of
The
Bezos.
Tomb of Bezos. That's not bad. Shadow of the Bezos.
That might be good.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
no! This is
Shadow of the Bezos.
Shadow
Rise of the Bezos is the Bezos trilogy.
Oh gosh!
Oh man,
Bezos
whatever the
returns.
story is, it's not as interesting as we made it. Yeah. Bezos, Angel of Darkness.
Oh, the bad.
Yeah, it's the bad PS2 one. Man, and I've got some gaming magazines from like right before that was coming out. It's like the new Lara Croft. It's improved. Everything's better. It's all this stuff. I actually have to play that one day and see how bad it is.
Bezos.
I bought it on PC. I was like, what the fuck is this? I thought
Bezos
it was
what?
3 hours.
Brent.
Bezos Raider for the Engage.
Hey, that was a good one though. Yeah, that was a
That was
faithful
actually-
port.
Yeah, I like
That looked
Yeah.
pretty damn good.
Okay. I think we got that out of our system. Probably some good episode titles in there though, and I don't have to go hunting 45 minutes in for one. Yeah,
Yes,
and
right at the beginning.
Nintendo's.
Yeah, just put
What was that, Cesar?
something. Bezos something right in
Oh
the-
yeah, for sure. Nintendo Switch Online Plus gets more Sega Genesis games. I am one of your hosts, Richard Bergman, joined tonight by Newsmaster Brant McKee and our resident
up?
page master and lore master, Cesar Concepcion II. Gentlemen, how are you guys? Old, yes,
Oh.
same. Did y'all have a very merry
Tired.
Christmas recently?
I had a great
Yes.
4-day weekend. Hell yeah.
Mhm. Someone provided me with some out of town adult beverages. That was a tasty surprise and delight, which I haven't
You already
indulged in
started
them yet.
drinking?
No, I needed to elaborate on that.
It's the saddest story.
If I start them, they'll probably be gone. So we know how that goes.
I do have to
Yes,
work tomorrow.
yes. Work is soon. Work is soon. It's still on break, but work is dangerously close to being soon. Any gaming gifts? I'm trying to think of any. I think I've deterred people from getting me gaming stuff over the years. If it's not something that somebody immediately knows I'm hunting, or like I think I ruined my brother one time because he got me a game and I was like, I think I can get that for a better deal. I was like, I'll return it, and then I got him something too. Yeah,
Oh.
no, but I got the game. I just got a better deal on it than he did
Yeah.
or something. So I don't know. I think I ruined that for people at some point. I gave some games. The missus got a Nintendo Switch Lite this year, which has turned into a dedicated Oddworld collection for her. So I just hear like the farting and the whistling and the follow me. I hear that from across the room at all hours. She will literally charge it up until it's full battery and then run it all the way down playing Oddworld. And the light, like this is I messed with Cesar's when they first came out. I think Link's Awakening was one of the newer games. Those lights, that's a great console, man. It's such a small, compact device, and it feels like a Game Boy, like it feels like a DS or something. But plays all your Switch games with that smaller screen. It looks really, really sharp. She got that and Outer Worlds, being a Fallout fan. Brent, you were saying you now have Crisis Core or access to Crisis Core?
I have Crisis
That's right.
Core for PS5. My son got
Switch.
it for Switch, along with a bunch of
Oh,
other
what else
games.
did he rack up with?
Oh gosh, Shin Megami Tensei 3 and 5 for Switch. Persona 5 Strikers.
JRPG Christmas?
Klonoa.
Ooh, Klonoa's a good one.
He got a 3DS version of Majora's Mask.
The definitive, that's the best way to play, right?
Mm-hmm. Which of all the things I got him, I was like, something tells me he'll play that first, and I'll be damned
Popped in
if that
Majora's
wasn't the
Mask.
first thing.
Has he ever
popped
played
in and
Majora's
started
Mask on
playing.
something else?
No, he's I think he tried
Yeah.
to play it at one point, because he had, of course, access to my game collection. Of course, he has the probably made the same mistake I did, popped in that GameCube Zelda collection disc and tried to play it on there. And that
What's so
version
bad
is
about that
terrible.
one? I remember hearing like
So-
some hit and miss opinions on that collection.
It's known to be slower and be prone to like crashes
Gotcha.
and things like that. So
But it is
Um,
progressive scan, if I remember right. That was an advantage. Yeah,
yeah, it's not bad
right.
as far as that goes. He's getting it's not here yet, but he's getting an upgraded memory card
Awesome.
for his Vita. And of course, he wants to buy some stuff off the PS5 store because he's like, I know Persona 3 and 4 come out on the on Switch and everywhere else next year, but you know they're probably going to be $39 or $40 something dollars, where they're like $20 on the Nintendo or on the PSN
This
store.
age scares me.
He's already played Persona 4 Golden because that was one of his first games for the Vita. So he's looking at Persona 3 Portable on there. So
Mine got Link's Awakening for their Switch. One of good old Dad's favorites. Sonic Mania. Sonic Team Racing, which didn't seem very popular immediately. Like, not super excited about that one. We'll figure that out. And what was that? Story of Seasons. You remember the subtitle for that one, Cesar? Back to Nature or something? I don't remember. It came with a cow for Xbox One. The theme song is a banger. But that seems to be a hit so far, so I was going to bring it up in games played, but it seems better mentioned in Christmas gifts. It's one of those new age Harvest Moons, but it's the story of seasons, right? Yeah.
Yeah. 40 minutes of a theme song just looping over and over again.
As they pick weeds out of the field.
I knew there was something I was forgetting. He got Cowabunga collection too.
I gifted a Cowabunga collection and a Capcom Fighting collection. I've bought multiple copies of both of those games. I have done my support. So I've supported Darkstalkers for you.
I've been supporting Darkstalkers since the 90s, and I've been disappointed.
That was actually for friend of the show, Robbie, and the first thing he said when he looked at it was like, doesn't this one have Darkstalkers? And I was like, yes, one of us. I got him the Xbox One version of that. I think that was his best way to play that collection. And it was the only one on sale at the time. I'm getting wary of, like, I like double dipping for the Switch stuff, but I'm wary of certain games now at this point for Switch. It makes me nervous.
Should be.
Crash is piping up back there. Crash, what do you think about the Switch?
Oh, that's somebody yelling in the hall.
Snowball. Come in, Snowball. Yeah, I knew it.
Snowball.
I was going to run down the list, Brant. All right, let's get into this news. I actually have an iPad that won't crash on me for once.
So the other one that you refuse to upgrade until they remove the iOS upgrade option for you?
Oh man, by then one of those M1 Airs is going to drop in my wheelhouse, and then I'll jump on it. I'll seal the deal. More Sifu, said the news. This comes from Sauermano at Gamatsu. Sifu coming to Xbox Series, Xbox One, and Steam in March 2023 alongside Arena's update. Slow Clap will release Sifu for all the Xboxes and PC via Steam in March 2023 alongside new Arenas mode. Arenas will support 9 stylish new maps, each featuring exclusive new challenges of varying difficulty levels, adding multiple hours of the classic Sifu gameplay fans have come to love. Slow Clap explained. Oh, I like them exclaiming it much better than explaining it.
Yeah, it's better, yeah.
Sorry, Sal, made an edit. Editor's note. Successfully completing the arenas will progressively unlock a massive new batch of modifiers, which doubles the amount currently available in-game, and notably brings alternate moves to the Kung Fu palette of our main character. Completing the new arenas challenges will also unlock new cheats and exclusive new outfits. Sal Romano of Gamatsu fame also notes that right now, Sifu is available for PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC via the Epic Games Store. The Epic Games Store qualification only applies to the PC one, of course. Look forward to more Sifu. Did you guys try this one out?
Sifu's a great game.
Yeah, I thought I remember.
I've got it
Brant
for
talking
PS5.
about it, but it gets. We talk about games every week. It gets lost in the shuffle. Was Sifu mention any of the Game of the Year stuff? Or did it come out? Did it come out last year?
No.
That was this year, right?
It's this year, yeah. It's just been re-released on so many fucking different platforms at different times. It's
right, this rollout is always like, whoa, didn't this already come out before? Like, I'm sure when Death Stranding's coming to Steam,
Switch
it's going to be a big deal.
Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Xbox next year. I'm like, what the hell's happening with this thing?
And it broke. Y'all saw it was free on Epic Game Store. It, like, broke the Epic Game Store.
Death Stranding did. Next up, Microsoft could introduce a cheaper ad-supported Game Pass tier. Survey suggests. Survey suggests.
This
This is Jordan Midler at VideoGamesChronicle.com. The survey, which appeared on Reset Era, spotted by Windows Central, appears to ask whether players would be willing to pay lower amounts than the standard Game Pass monthly fee in exchange for some limitations on the subscription. One option would see players pay a lower fee but have access to first-party Xbox titles on a delay, which could be as much as 6 months. What would be the point of that? I mean, it's already a decent value, but I understand if people aren't looking for that, they're not looking for that. Yeah.
I don't know, Richard. That may suit us, man. I only use Game Pass for Halo, so.
Very recently, right as I talked about this either last episode or 2 episodes ago, like very recently, my kids have like wanted to check out stuff on Game Pass, and it's like and then it was just like they've put so much of their service into that, like it's weird to, like I had Master Chief Collection, I had the digital copy, but I didn't have live now all of a sudden, so I couldn't be in a party chat with somebody, and I couldn't play the multiplayer, so it was like some of that stuff is caught up in there. Like, are you okay, Cesar? Maybe you're okay with just Xbox Live and the $60 a year or whatever. So.
At this point, I'm okay with
not even that. Yeah, you said you might look at the Steam outlet.
I think I'm gonna end up just going.
A reduced tier could also see integrated ads as part of the service. However, it's not clear how these ads would manifest. While the survey's not guaranteed to happen, blah, blah, blah. Phil Spencer says the subscriber base has slowed down on the console despite strong PC adoption. As of January 2022, Game Pass has over 25 million subscribers. You would think as they sell more hardware, though, that there will be more of those subscribers. Game Pass subscriptions increased 159% year over year, and with cloud gaming, we're transforming how games are distributed, played, and viewed. More than 20 million people have used the service to stream games to date. That was Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, who also spoke at a conference I was recently at. That was very strange to see this individual. But he's head of Microsoft, so. Yep. Yeah, Cesar, I think you might have an argument, because I really just paid it for it to be a convenience, right? So that my stuff would just work again, and I didn't have to figure out how to make it work without having to pay. And then I got it down to like $8 a month, so.
We'll see. It all depends when the actual first party game.
Yeah. And on that note, we were supposed to have all that stuff by now, right? Where's all those studio acquisitions churning out that stuff? It's not there.
Yeah.
Brent, have you been waffling on Game Pass, or are you kind of up in the air with it, or where are you at?
I mean, I recently upgraded to Game Pass Ultimate over Gold, because it was, a couple of dollars more, and I forget exactly what made me do it, but I just wanted to. I tried it, and I haven't downgraded since, but honestly, yeah, I haven't really used it to its full potential. There's every now and then there's something. I think I liked the idea of xCloud. Is one of the reasons I adopted it, is being able to take those games on the go. But again, you're better on a strong home Wi-Fi network or something like that, rather than even attempting to play something on a strong 5G signal.
You can tell. It's not quite there, but you can tell.
Even sometimes in decent Wi-Fi, you can still tell.
Right.
Like I talked about before, sometimes you'll get that like screen refresh scroll come across the game.
Just to remind you you're playing through a portal of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we've seen other streaming. I mean, this is all just a subscription, right? And at Blink is a service. This is games as a service. So we've seen them introduce different tiers, and I think right now you only have like Game Pass. You have Game Pass for PC, and then you have Game Pass Ultimate, which is all that stuff. So
yeah,
is there a difference between? I guess Ultimate is the big upgrade with all of it.
Yeah,
but more tiers invites more user base growth, so I guess that's something they will look at. I mean, there's a reason Netflix did it, or a reason Disney did it, add in those ad tiers and see what sort of revenue increase that includes.
Yeah, but Netflix, like like you said, I think they're doing that similar thing where they're price locking some of their shows for that supported ad tier
Right.
too. Like you don't get full access to their whole catalog for a certain amount of time,
Right. It's bizarre.
or whatever it was, like $6.99 a month or something like that. I can't remember how much it was.
I never knew when we like went into this streaming, and we should predict anything that's happening with this is coming to these gaming services, right? So I never thought that it would get to these weird tiers, and then like HBO is losing their own content out of there because they're putting it on other platforms, and just the way things have gone with stuff, or that Apple would dive into this and have their own TV subscription and such. And buy the MLS games next year. Oh, Renee's on Twitch as well. Renee, our constant supporter. All right, next up.
I'll wait for Brand to start his streaming service, and then I'll just subscribe to that. Off his servers at home.
Brant.tv.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, he has everything. I wonder how long this will last.
Brand.tv. We have everything. That's the tagline.
Yeah.
Retro games, hot tubs, and cats and cones.
You're not a pirate if you don't get caught.
That too. Come sail the high seas. All right, somebody tell me about this Pixel Remaster fiasco.
Okay, so we had talked about the fact that these Pixel Remaster games had showed up on the ESRB ratings, adding the platforms Nintendo Switch and PS4.
It was a rumor last time, right?
Yeah, it was just they showed up and then they disappeared. So everybody basically assumed that we would get this drop to line up with the 35th anniversary, I believe it was.
Yeah.
So first of all, I'll go over what's in the article. So Andy Robinson at Video Games Chronicle. The Pixel remasters were officially announced for Nintendo Switch, PS4, and coming spring 2023. Of course, that's the 6-game collections. They announced it, I want to say it was like 1 a.m. our time. And decided to
drop.
Yeah, they did announce a physical edition.
Oh god, so I was trying to allude to something.
Two physical editions. A just regular physical and like a special edition, kind of like collector's edition kind of thing. They decided to do all of this specifically through their Square Enix store. You could not buy it on Amazon or anything else.
Their store sucks.
Famously,
you have to spend usually like $120 or something crazy to get free shipping, and I don't think that was even a option on this one, right?
No.
Yeah. Holy shit! I just want to send them an email because can I just fly there and pick it up? Yeah. It's almost the same cost.
It's cheaper. I'll get a trip out of it.
The regular physical edition is $75. They're very fixated on that price point. I guess that's the sales for digitally on Steam.
75
and then
specifically,
also, 75. And then the collector's edition was $260.
Sure.
And the lowest amount of shipping you could choose was $25. So you're talking $100 or basically $300.
And it took the money immediately. It didn't even say we'll pay when it ships. Took it out of your account immediately.
The collector's edition, of course, includes the physical version of whichever game you chose for whichever console. Anniversary edition goods box, a bonus lenticular sleeve for the game package, 2-disc vinyl record set featuring newly arranged game music with exclusive cover artwork.
They're picture discs.
A special compiled art book showing beautiful character pixel art, and 8 stylized pixel art character figures in window packaging.
Oh boy. Okay, so that's a good collection.
Yes, it is.
I don't know if that's $260 good.
and I'm sure most people were very excited to get their hands on it. And they sold out pretty much immediately out of every single one.
They were excited to get their hands on it and put it on eBay. They're all over eBay.
They are all over eBay. And then we went with 2 days after this where they were kind of like waffling. You could go to the website and get your name on like a list to where I guess to be notified if they came back in stock.
Mhm.
And they briefly came back in and out of stock for like 2 days. And when I say that, I don't mean 2 full days. I mean like they went up for,
Two
a couple
occurrences
minutes
each day.
on different
Yeah.
days, and immediately sold out. And there's no sign of them ever coming back. So
Yeah, I think I was in the Kroger shopping center as I was getting groceries for the week, and when they were like, "Oh, it's back in stock," and I had them both in my cart, I'm sitting there like a dumbass in the middle of the aisle as they said, "All right, we got to put you on a waiting thing for 10 minutes." And I waited there for 10 minutes, and then I went there to purchase, and it's like, "Oh, you lost everything out of your cart. No, these items are no longer available." I was like, "All right, cool." I was like, "That's great." So
Neither one? I thought you got the regular edition.
no, I was trying to get the regular one. I wasn't buying on the $300 version. I was like, hell no.
Oh, okay. So one of each was a PS4 copy and a Switch copy.
Yeah. I was just trying to get one of each. That was my goal.
And they're not making these available anywhere else.
nope.
Once they're gone, they said, and it's limited quantity.
And all these memes were coming out saying Square Enix will get you to buy this and this and this and this. But the one thing people really, really want physical copies of, they're doing the whole dangle tease Nintendo bullshit, forced scarcity crap.
They could have easily produced millions of copies and sold them. I think even if they would have kept, if they were so fixated on that $70 price point, I think they still could have moved it off shelves. I really do.
I mean,
Because there are so many people that want that.
I mean, all they could have really done is doing an open pre-order. Like, all right, we're only making so many of these. Just get your order in 2 weeks.
Limited run style.
They
Mhm.
didn't even do that. So I don't know,
This
man.
is it's just another in a line of questionable moves that Square Enix has been making. They did the first Soldier battle royale thing, and that already
Yep,
shut
it's
down. They had Babylon's Fall, which bombed and is shutting down next year.
Which we talked friend of the show Zach into buying,
the-
and he put like 30 hours into it waiting on us.
Did he really?
He's like, it's a good game. I don't
What do you
know.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it was a good ass game. You enjoyed it?
The 2 hours I put in there, yeah, I was like, I was waiting for you guys, but I might just go without there.
After the first of the year, we probably do need to
Yeah,
go ahead
let's-
and boot it up and
Yep,
just go
let's
ahead
put
and
a
get it
stream
done.
out there of us playing. Yep.
Pick
I'm
a day.
with it too.
Since we're all off next Monday, that maybe
Says already
that's the
said you got to
thing.
put 2 hours into it to get to the co-op.
Yeah, it's like you got to do a tutorial, like, oh, this is how you run, and oh, this is how you dodge things.
This kills me.
It's like every other game. Man.
And then another late thing was the Chocobo Racing. They were, doing the whole live service seasons with that, and they are announcing that all the live service stuff is closing down. So, unlike Babylon's Fall, though, you'll still be able to purchase and play that game just fine without all that. It's just that the store is going away where they sell, I don't know, different customizations for the
store
cards
and then
or
like
something.
the season stuff, right? Like they've got seasons of the Chocobo GP stuff.
I think you're supposed to be able to unlock it now naturally in the game, like you're supposed to. Like you can pay for the shortcuts and just get it more quickly. But it's like you have to like fucking win so many races just to unlock shit. Like, they kind of force you, like, oh, if I buy the Chocobo Wing currency, it unlocks up quicker. So I can get to play Leon immediately.
Pay to win. Are all the favorite characters like Steiner and all the ones you would want? Are they behind the seasonal stuff?
I don't even look. Brand, don't worry about it. I'll get to that later, Brand. But I talk about GP as a grand champion.
He went out on top like Elway.
I'll beat him down.
But just, I think we're all in the same boat. As SSR said on our group chat, that now we just have to wait to see if Asia gets the reprints that they sometimes do.
Yep.
We can get them off Play Asia or Amazon Japan or something.
I know for a fact that in Japan and Europe they're all Square Enix exclusives in their stores, and they're already sold out.
God.
So Japan's the same way. So our only hope is can't say it on here, but Taiwan.
Pacific Islands.
We can't say Taiwan.
Yeah, we're banned from China now. We all are.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah.
That place that is not China, that is also China.
But I think the ones that come from Asia are always from Taiwan. They got a Square Enix office there. So
I think
so does Toy Kit.
I think Brant has made Poos of the Winnies jokes before. I think we're already banned, and he wasn't talking about Kingdom Hearts playthroughs. We've been banned for quite some time.
I don't know, man. I got everything hooked up over here on a VPN router, so
You're safe. You don't know where we're coming from.
We'll just get John Cena in here talking about ice cream in Chinese, and we'll be good. Bing chilling.
That should work too. Next up, Amazon has signed the next Tomb Raider game from Crystal Dynamics. Brant starts laughing.
Jeff Bezos said, "Get over here, Lara Croft.
Come raid my tomb." This comes from Andy Robinson at VideoGamesChronicle.com. The firm's games arm, the firm's. God, that was like the evil
This
firm.
is just getting worse and worse.
I know, it was the evil firm from the John Grisham book. They were bad. The firm's games arm will publish the next single-player entry in the Lara Croft series. The multi-platform title, developed by Crystal Dynamics, which was recently sold to Embracer Group by former parent Square Enix, will be built alongside Amazon from development all the way through publishing. That would have been a good get for their Luna service, right?
Mm-hmm.
assuming that's where it's probably going to be on there.
Yeah.
For them.
The new entry will be a single-player narrative-driven adventure that continues Lara Croft's story from the previous games, the pair said. It includes all the elements that made Tomb Raider one of the most revered franchises in gaming, giving players control of the confident and multi-dimensional hero, Lara Croft, in an environment that rewards exploration and creative pathfinding with mind-bending puzzles to solve and a wide variety of enemies to face and overcome. Oh, God. Some of these descriptions, I was laughing through that last one, too. It's like, what's a Tomb Raider game? It's a confident, multi-dimensional hero in an environment that rewards exploration and creative pathfinding with mind-bending puzzles to solve and a wide variety of enemies to face and overcome.
And gruesome deaths.
They should have added that because that's a defining trademark. But I just described Mario 64. I just described the original Legend of Zelda. I just described Mega Man. I mean, it's the most generic.
So you're saying they went out there and just got the, all right, pull up the template. Get the template. All right,
Or
throw in stuff and put on Tomb Raider in there. And all right.
Or what is that AI thing? GPT script or something like that? Have y'all seen some of those examples? It's crazy. It's crazy insane. Whew. Like somebody's, did I talk about this already? Talking about playing a Nintendo? How best way to play a Nintendo in 2023 or something like that? The AI literally spit out, you can use a new modern TV, but you'll need something like an upscaler. Or it said, or a good way to do it is to get an older cathode ray tube TV. The way games are meant to be played from that era. And it broke them into paragraphs and it had an argument to it and everything. And I was like, holy shit. These things are legit. Time to go back to school. I'm ready to write some papers.
Almost went and up to that AI.
Easiest essays
Back,
ever.
baby. Feed the machine. All right, more Tomb Raider is a good thing, right? Tomb Raider needs to be in gaming. And this is the best iteration of Tomb Raider we've had?
Yeah.
I think Angel of Darkness is really the only misstep, because the original ones were well received. Maybe the annual franchise burnout thing led on. But then we got, what was that trilogy for 360, some PS3, some Wii? It was Anniversary. Damn, that first one came out on Xbox, the original Xbox. Underworld was one of them. Mm-hmm. Legend, yeah, Tomb Raider Legend. There it is. Those were well received. Those were good Tomb Raider games. But this newer Crystal Dynamics one is really awesome, Uncharted style. Last but not least in news,
I've got the wrong article pulled up. Someone's got to grab this one. If there's only one.
The first game.
Yeah, we just. It's 4 more Sega Saturn.
Oh, now we're
Sega
talking.
Saturn.
This is
oh,
news.
I wish.
We're going live to breaking news correspondent Brant McKee. Brant, what Sega Saturn games are coming to Switches Online expansion pack? I see Virtual Fighter 2. It checks out.
Well, I mean, technically, if you have a modded Switch, you can put just about any Sega Saturn game on there because of what was that Cotton Saturn Tribute had the Saturn emulator in there. People were just plugging things in there.
That reminds me that we were talking about that scalable engine a couple weeks ago. Did they have Saturn working on that stuff, like on Switch? Was it the Carbon engine?
Carbon engine. I think they got PS1, and I don't know about Saturn. I know PS.
Was that limited runs thing? Okay, because Mike Micah's crew at Digital Eclipse has another. They have an engine like that too. I can't remember the name of that one specifically, but it scales the same way, and they can keep adding to it. They've got some stuff in the works too. I can't wait for these new. They keep teasing announcements this next year, both limited run and Digital Eclipse. It's like, damn, show us something.
Richard, answer your question. They said on their website currently supports NES, Famicom, SNES, Super Famicom, Genesis, Mega Drive, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Gear, Master System, Sega CD, Mega CD, and PlayStation.
So no Saturn yet mentioned.
No. Saturn's notoriously harder to emulate, so. But the Genesis, there's 4 more games actually being added to Nintendo Switch's online Genesis or
too.
Mega Drive.
And after you read the 4, Brant, if y'all know me well, you will know my favorite of these 4.
So we have Golden Axe 2,
solid title.
Alien Storm,
solid title.
Columns, or Virtual
also
Fighter
solid
2.
title. Not like the Saturn one, but very admirable for Genesis.
They're all actually really.
Which one of those 4 games
titles.
is my favorite, though?
You love Columns. Come on. Everybody knows you love Columns. Give this man some Columns. Tetris, who needs it when you got Columns?
2 things we know you love about Genesis is Columns and Ultra Beast.
It's a fun romp, man, but imagine just being stuck with that. Like, that's your title. It's like, oh, God, you could beat it in 45 minutes. Like, oh, my God, no. I have played through it. It's much more fun co-op, obviously, the hijinks that ensue. What is Alien Storm? Is that like I can't remember if that's like a Contra type thing. Oh yeah, it's a brawler of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are 4 really good games. All right. Thank you, Cesar. Once again, it's always a reminder to thank Cesar for Nintendo Switch Online Plus every time it rolls around. Give us GoldenEye, you cowards. Why did they not give us GoldenEye during holidays? It was a perfect time, right? And we already went past the anniversary. Wasn't somebody talking about the anniversary before?
Mm-hmm.
We went steamrolling right past that.
It's the new Metroid Prime remaster. Just keep dangling in front of us and we never see it.
Yeah, I read a Verge article yesterday about somebody playing Metroid Prime Trilogy on Steam Deck, and I'm inching closer, ever closer to the Steam Deck. I realize I play a lot of stuff portably. Just not recently. Hey, let's talk about what we've been playing. It's our next segment, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new here...
Oh, hell of a segue.
If you're new here, we talk about games we play. And I typically talk about Halo Infinite. If you're not new here, we talk about games we play, and I typically talk about Halo Infinite. Oh shit, there was a winter update for Halo. Winter contingency. Brant, have you played any of it?
I have not.
Brant, I didn't until 2 nights ago, and it is a 10-tier battle pass of sorts. Level 10 gets you a Santa hat. Of which Cesar is already sporting, and which I saw I immediately had to have. So I'd say within about 2 hours, I'm at level 8, so it will not take long to get to the Santa hat for your Spartan character. We had some fun. No new modes. I think Team Snipers right now is the featured thing, which we didn't play. We've been playing a lot of tactical, and well, when I get on, Renee, I think Cesar and Renee have been playing a lot of tactical recently.
More so, I think we played again last night, but then we switched to the Fiesta because we were in our asses.
Oh, it wasn't going well.
When that I don't know. When I play Fiesta, man, I'm getting near like 4.
You're doing what now?
Getting 20 kills, 5 deaths when I play.
Damn.
Fiesta, but
Getting rockets?
that's different. No, I never get rockets. They always give me 2 handguns. They give me
And you go off with them, or you're throwing grenades, or what?
I make it work, man. I'm sitting there repelling people off cliffs all the time now. So
That's a good tactic.
I got pretty good now. Just when I got the repeller, it's just when people start, I let them come to as close as they can to me, the hammer, and it's like
With the hammer? Yeah. The swinging in midair as they back away from you.
as I'm gunning them down.
Oh, I love this strategy. I love this strategy. I get that, and I'm always looking to swap it out. I need to start using that more. It's a pretty good tactic.
It's my favorite now because I like the terror in their eyes. They're like, oh, swinging in the air, swinging with the sword like this.
Oh, Renee says yes, 24 hammers. Did y'all run into someone that was 24 hammers?
Holy shit! Yeah, we did on the match we went on there. I think one of the last ones on there. They put me in the middle of the map, and I'm running through. I was like, holy shit! Everybody in the opposite team has hammers. They're all in there like just hammering. 4 hammer brothers going.
Holy shit! Were y'all playing Griff Ball? Was it old Griff Ball from Halo 3?
It was a fucking training ground. It's like they all running down the center with hammers. I was like, what the hell, man? Give me 2 handguns. They all got hammers.
What are you supposed to do with that? Did you have your rappel thing?
I know because I died instantly. I was like, as soon as I thought I got away from one, somebody hammered.
Yeah. Halo continues to be good. Now I feel like I'm not the one dragging everybody into it. Like there's other people hitting me up. Hey, when are you getting on? Hey, let's get on, man. Renee's bad about it too. Renee's the worst influence out of all of us, I think.
We jumped on last night, and I was like, where's everybody else at? I don't know. I think it's just me and you, man. Oh, I lit up Russell. I sent him like 45 messages. I was like, oh.
Yeah, he got on super late.
I was like, what?
When I was on...
I don't think he even joined with us, so I don't even know if he got on afterwards.
Oh, really? He made it sound like in that thread like he was playing. Okay.
He said he was watching Yellowstone. He was waiting for one of us to.
That's right, that prequel thing. So I got on there. I saw Cesar. Cesar had just got home, so I was kind of waiting for him to settle in, that sort of thing. You guys have been talking about Psychonauts, right? And I've had it since the original Xbox came out, and I have never played a minute of Psychonauts. So I had already downloaded it off Game Pass, and it was, it's like 5 gigs or something. It's not a big install. So I pretty much went in blind, except for Renee said he's about to play Halo now. He pisses off Russell. I don't think that's the case, but it's funny. So I go in blind with Psychonauts, except what you guys have talked about. Not really. I mean, we describe stuff, and it'll pique your interest. Like, I need to check that out, man. But if it's not like, this is a turn-based game, or this is a Mario 3-esque platform, or something like that, it's more difficult to wrap your mind around. I guess that's the right Psychonauts connotation. That'll be my lead on my story, on my review for Psychonauts. But I didn't realize, like, for an original Xbox game, there's so much, like, to this game. There's so much polish. And this was a Majesco title. I was like, holy crap. And apparently when I was researching it killed Majesco because it was a commercial failure despite being... Like, I remember when it released, people in the store were talking about how great it was. But even just, like, picking... your main character's name is Raz, and he's crashing this Psychonauts camp where people are training to become Psychonauts, where they can go into brains and memories and things like that. And it seems like the levels are going to be these memories and brains and issues maybe. But there's a whole lot of stuff. This game came out in 2004 or 5, and there's a bunch of stuff about, like, positive mentality and staying ahead of yourself, and there's just, like, some deep elements to it that I wasn't quite ready for. But the polish, like I was saying, you're this character named Rasputin or Raz, and even just picking out the save profile, you're in this camp, and you're picking, like, a bunk in the camp, and you can move around, and Raz, like, jumps into the different levels of the bunk depending on which save profile you pick.
but it's full of eccentric characters, and the music has been great. The platforming is a little weird in that late, mid 2000s-ish platforming way. I cannot wait to play Psychonauts 2 after this one. Like, just...
Psychonauts 2 is really, really fucking good. That's one of
and
my
I could just imagine, like, the scale... This is an Xbox game. The original Xbox and PS2. It was on PS2, right? And PC.
Yes.
But, like, the scale of these levels and the stuff they're doing, and there's a bunch of currencies in there. There's, like, there's figments that you can get throughout the level, which is, like, almost like a Christmas tree neon trace of something that it seems like... I've only done, like, the war level, but it seems like it's associated with whatever brain or memory I'm in, right? And the first level is the coach. Like, you're in the coach's head. So you're going through his... Apparently he had, like, some war PTSD or something, and there was a cannon you have to face off against and stuff. And it's just... Man, it's wild. And the characters are descriptive. And when you're moving around as Raz, like, when I went to the coach's area, you have, like, a school campus. And I'm hoping, like, all the levels are kind of scattered around this campus. But when you're going into his classroom... He looks at each one of the students. Like, they don't just... It's not just a blanket NPC that you can hit A next to and talk to. He moves, like, his head moves towards them, almost like Wind Waker or something. You know how Link would see a weapon and you'd see his eyes, like, looking at the weapon and stuff? It's got a very modern feel to how you interact with the characters and how it moves around. But it's been awesome so far. It was one of those where I was like... I'll finish that little bit. I'll just save here. But then each part of the platforming I've done on just the first level is like totally different from the last. One, I was climbing ladders and going up ropes and trying to dodge bombs that were coming at me. And the next one, I was jumping on this netting and trying to get across like a big, was that like a mountain thing, like going up a ship? And all these wartime things are going off and bombs are flying everywhere. And man, it's bizarre. Very good. You guys were, you guys were raving about it, and I can't believe how good it is. There was a character, his name is Doran or something like that. He's a little flat-looking guy with shoes. Dugan, that's him. And Dugan. So you meet him. He's one of the first characters you meet, and he's a little skittish. Like, he wants to get out. Raz is trying to fight to get in the Psychonaut training thing. He's trying to get out. He wants to go home. And there's a scene where I'm just walking around the little school campus area, and it's all outdoors. And he's off in the corner, and I'm like, let me go talk to him, because he was in that intro part. And there's these squirrels around him. And he's like, the squirrels are threatening me, and all this stuff. And Raz is like, okay, man, just do your thing, whatever. And then you walk off. Raz is looking over his shoulder like, okay, just do your thing. And he like raises the squirrels up in the air. And then the end of the cutscene is like these pieces of squirrel are like raining down from the sky. And you could go back and talk to him and it's different dialogue.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's but the writing and the humor, and I didn't want to miss anything. And sometimes when you go back to these older titles, I play all my games with subtitles on. And we're getting into this new age of like God of War and The Last of Us remake and Last of Us Part 2. Like, they're so leaning into accessibility, and more people are able to play games certain ways, right? I'm lucky enough so far. My main issue is being able to hear like the dialogue and stuff that's going on. But I do that with movies and TV and stuff too. I want to be able to hear what they're saying, even if it's not super clear. I feel like I miss stuff like in the background and things like that. But you can turn subtitles on in this game, and everything's when the characters are doing their voice acting, there'll be like a little picture of the character, and then it doesn't just have like the name, but it'll have the picture of the character, and then it'll have their script right out next to it. So I thought that was a great touch. But it plays wonderfully on this backwards compatible Game Pass version. I'd still love seeing the original, the Xbox boot that comes up. That's cool. I wish all backwards compatible stuff did that. It'd be really neat. Psychonauts is good, man. I want to play Psychonauts right now. It's excellent. But for the sake of time and saving my voice, I still have the cough from last week, so it didn't improve much, but I do at least have the energy now. So
But those are my games played. I'll hand it off to you two guys.
I haven't played much outside. We already discussed Halo, and can't think of anything outside
Yeah,
of it.
freaking Renee keeps sucking us into Halo.
Like 2 a.m. Last night was like 2 a.m. too. Also, so
I'm glad I didn't stay up. I was so freaking tired.
We did stream one. I think it was on Christmas Day, right? Christmas Eve. I can't remember which one. Everything's blended blur the last couple of days, so I can't remember. Didn't play too bad on that one. But for me,
Yeah, it was
just
like 16-5 or something on one of those rounds. I was like, hell yeah, go Cesar.
Yeah. Outside of that, like Brant said, Chocobo GP is shutting down. I was like, man, I bought that physical copy from Play Asia. I never fired it up in there. And I was like, let me just put it in here and see what it looks like. So I didn't even dock it. I put it right here because I was in the middle of studying. I was like, I'll take a break and fuck around with it. Just see what I would actually lose if I opened it up and see what they were taking away from their pay to win menu in there. But like when you go in there, it's like 85 different currencies. Like you get gold coins, unlock certain shit there. You get tickets to unlock certain things here, and then the paid stuff's like these blue Chocobo wings. I'm like,
God, I hate stuff like that.
It's like a little mess. Like it's never so fucking clear. So I was like, no, man. I went ahead and jumped online, and so the way it gives you different options, so you can do like different tiers. So I think I chose 64 players online. It didn't take long to match them all up, which was surprising. It's like they find the first 64. It probably took like 5 minutes after they gets that group locked in there. It moves pretty quickly. So it's 8 matches of 8 people. That's their little tournament style. So that's the first thing. So I think in that stage, mine was a cheapified version of Midgar, where I played One Wing Angel as I just raced around on loop. So
How did the music sound? Was it good?
It's pretty good. Yeah. I would just keep playing that just for the music. You have to get the top 4 to advance to the next tournament bracket. So I think on the first, all the matches, I got 4th place. There was one video I showed Richard where I was in 5th place because somebody had blew a whole bunch of shit at me, like Mario Kart style, towards the finish line. And I grabbed whatever their equivalent of like a death character, which is like their equivalent of a blue turtle shell. I launched at the guy, and the guy's like right at there at the finish line, and it just stopped him 4th place, and he couldn't get started up again. I crossed him and got 4th place in the next minute. And I knew that dude was pissed because I recorded the video and I showed it to Richard. I got to post it online.
Put that on Instagram. It's a pretty good finish.
Yeah, it was like I know that dude was probably so pissed because he's out the tournament after that. I advanced to the next stage. So I had consistently got 4th place until the final tournament, which I got 1st place, and then became grand champion. And I was like, all right, I'm never playing this ever. So
go out on top.
Online.
Go out on top.
I got photos, man. I'm gonna post the photos, and it's there for the to see. I'm 1-0, man. I'm like I'm not the Denver Broncos, but it's not bad. I mean, I don't think it's like a Mario Kart killer because as you go around, you there's different stuff, so you can hold on to like I think 3 items in your pool that you can launch at different times. And I think the one that interests me the most is like a fucking portal one. So you throw out a portal, and it moves you forward in the map because it throws out an exit point in the race. But I think people realize that, so whenever they see somebody throw down a portal, they'll throw down their other one right in front of it and behind it. So I'm going back and forth. I'm like, fuck, I got stuck into a loop. Because they saw the end of the portal, it's like, let me throw one right here. And they're like, I'll drive out the end.
Advantage.
And I go back, and I'm like, yeah. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? I'm stuck in a loop where I'm going back and forth, and that's what sometimes we burn get out of 4th place. So like, there's some bullshit stuff they put in there that's pretty funny.
Cesar tried to play Chocobo GP and a Portal game broke out.
Yeah, basically that's what it was. So it's not bad. For what it is, I enjoyed it. If I hear more music, I might end up liking it more. I'm trying to figure out why Spotify started playing.
You said music something, and it must have kicked it off.
It probably did, yeah.
Speaking of music, I got a segue into our wormhole of yesterday before Brant takes us home. Whenever you get close to being done.
Yeah, I'm almost done here. But I mean, it's not that.
Is it free to start? Free to play? Like, what is the? If you want to play now, what do you get into?
So if you wanted to, you could do the light mode, which is free. Which I think just they use that to get bodies into the 64-person race. So I don't know what's included in there. That might just be the people in there. And I think the digital copy's on sale until the 31st for half off. So it's like $24.99. You can get the whole thing.
What does that
So,
get you over the
you
light
could do the
mode?
light one.
You're not sure?
That gets you the full game with the venture mode and practice races. Because I think that light mode is just strictly just to get online portion of the game. That way the online's not dead.
Right.
So that's the biggest thing.
We need players. Make it free.
But I mean, it's not bad. I mean, if you enjoy Final Fantasy music and Final Fantasy anything, I mean, I mean, the musics are bangers, man. I'm just, everything I listen to is like pretty good. The only bad thing about it is like it only put me on Big Bridge and Midgard. That was like the 2 races out of the 5 I had to go. They just kept circling.
Damn. Is it like Splatoon where you only get a certain amount of matches and then it takes an hour or something to rotate?
I don't know if it's because you have to unlock maps, or I didn't really go into details about like what is available to me. Is the limitation that I'm having because there's only so many people have the basic stuff, or I haven't gone that far into it yet. I don't know if I'll go that deep into it, man. But it's not bad. I mean, it's not a Mario Kart killer, but I mean, it's like if we were all together, I was like, yeah, let's throw it in there, and fuck around with some chocolate GP. I don't think I'm waking up at 2 p.m. and like, hey guys, I'm gonna move for Chocobo GP. Let's get on here and let's get these races done. We're sitting there for 5 hours.
Get online. Let's grind.
Yeah, so we can buy our copy of Squall and his fake ass car that somehow is a Final Fantasy VIII representation. But I was like, how does this any of this?
That's all that's in there for 8.
So far, yeah. But I think that's it for me. I'd fuck around with so many games, man. We'll be here all day. That's the only thing I put a lot of time in there. So yeah, I'm gonna hit this off.
Real quick, Brant. One thing we were messing around with yesterday. My kids are noted fans of music games, right? Like Just Dance and specifically Connect games, Connect Sports, all this kind of stuff. So I recently at Goodwill found them the Michael Jackson Experience, which came out after he passed. Where's this? Brant's like, where the hell is this going? I got them that, and like, there's one called Hip Hop Experience or something like that. So they ended up playing more Sonic Riders than anything, which is a whole level of.
Oh yeah, I was forced to play Just Dance.
So I sort of can cut a rug at some Just Dance now. So we're firing up the Michael Jackson thing. I'm like, damn, I remember this for like PS3, Wii, I think. So Cesar dives into the Wikipedia page. Man. 360, PS3, Wii, DS, 3DS, PSP, Vita, PC. Is that the only one I'm missing?
Yeah, PC. Vita's the most expensive one. It's like
Vita's like unreal. So we start looking at them like, what the hell? What could they do with like this is a Just Dance thing? And that one was made by Ubisoft Montreal, the 360 one. So it's one of the Assassin's Creed studios. I was like, holy shit. And I think the thought occurred to us before we looked it up, like, could the DS one be like Elite Beat Agents in any capacity? So we found one review, and the guy, within 10 seconds of the video starting, the guy's like, if you're looking for Elite Beat Agents with Michael Jackson music, this is the game. Specifically the DS one. I didn't look, the 3DS one looks totally different. I didn't really check that one out.
It looks completely different.
The DS one gets you like a chibi looking Michael Jackson. But anyways, it's $12.96 shipped on Amazon. So I think both Cesar and I will be discussing it next week. It looked good. It's like 20 Michael Jackson songs, like good ones. Elite Beat Agents. That sounds amazing.
Oh yeah,
I'm in. I was like, shit, I'm in. The more I look at it, I was like, damn it. Because that was in that era of so many of those games coming out, right? Like it was on everything. I remember launch day and this was before like Vita and too far into Wii and PS3. Well, I guess I had like Xbox 360, Wii, GameCube. I guess I had those crossovers, but a new game would come out and there'd be 4 copies of each game on each console. You're opening up nonstop cases to put them out on the shelf. But man, that Michael Jackson Experience came out on a ton of shit. But the music sounded good on that 360 one.
It's on PSP, man. You might want to get your e-boot loader from put your hat on.
Start sailing.
Be a smooth
on the
criminal?
Vita one?
Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, on the PSP one. I kind of want to see what the PSP one is.
There's no touchscreen. Maybe the Vita one's like Elite Beat Agents too, with better graphics.
Oh, don't you dare do that.
Did you look at it?
I don't know. Don't you dare. Fuck, I'm looking at it now. I will spend $50. I will spend the $50.
So this is what we wormholed into yesterday, Brant. So I'm sure that seller on Amazon's like, what the fuck? I'm sending 2 of these to somewhere in Georgia. Yeah. I just sold 2 within 10 seconds. They're like, run the ad again. Wherever it's at, run the ad again.
He's pulling up his QuickBooks. He's like, sales through the roof 1,000% for Michael Jackson.
Send all your copies to the Atlanta location. They're going through them like crazy. We did that with we did that with a lot of games. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, they sent us every copy in the district because we sold everyone we could get a hold of. Shadow of the Colossus, we were Shadow of the Colossus peddlers up there. They were like, they're selling that weird game that's $40 on PS2. Send it to them.
Richard, we're safe. It's not like Elite Beat Agents. You have to flip the screen based off his hand movements. So you gotta go flick that way, flick this way. It's a little bit more too much work.
I flick my own hand movements.
He looks good. He looks good dancing. It looks just like him. He's like,
on Vita. That's no Elite Beat Agents though.
Visuals are impressive. I'll give you that much.
Elite Beat Agents or a Wyndon.
Yeah, I remember because I was sitting there and talking to Richard. Richard's like, if it says Elite Beat Agents, I'm buying it now. That's what he told me. When I sent him the video, he said if it says Elite Beat Agents,
within 10 minutes, he's like, if you're looking for Elite Beat Agents with Michael Jackson music, this is it. I'm like, where can I fucking buy this at?
I sent the video to Richard. I was like, look at the name.
Adventures of Russell. Yes, thank you, Adventures of Russell YouTube account. We needed that. AOR Gaming. Shout out to friend of the show, AOR Gaming.
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right, mine's pretty simple as well. Overwatch has its winter stuff going on.
Is it a mini thing like the Junkenstein thing?
Yes. So there's several different game modes. There's like a 5v5 player, like a freeze thing. So instead of being eliminated, your character gets frozen and your teammates can thaw you out. And the first team to freeze all the opponents wins. And you do, best of 3.
So kind of like that Halo mode where we turn into those orbs, and you can always be res, but there has to be somebody to res your orb or unfreeze you in this case. I got you.
Yeah. On top of that, there's 2 different versions of a snowball fight. The first one is 2 teams of 4. And you play a character who uses ice powers as her ability. And in this one, you only have snowballs. In the 4v4, you have one-shot snowballs, but there's like little piles of snow everywhere, and you can go and like fill your gun back up. You can still use her ability, basically icicle herself, encase herself in ice, which would protect her from a snowball hit, or she can make.
But everybody's this character.
Everybody's this character. 4v4. 1 shot, 1 kill.
Nice.
Best of 3. And her ultimate move in this one,
is like Elf when he made all those snowballs and he like throwing.
Basically, yes. When you do her ultimate in this game mode, it just gives you unlimited snowballs for an amount of time. So you just sit there and pop.
Beautiful.
So, the other version of that is actually a 8-player free-for-all, kind of like Battle Royale style. In that mode, you can actually stockpile up to 3 snowballs. And added to that, you can even catch snowballs. So
is that a timing thing? You just have to like put it at the right time.
Yeah.
Defend.
So, it's normally just the melee button, but yeah, if you melee in that game mode, she'll like raise her hand up, and if it puts it up there for like a second, and then she puts it down. So if they fire any time in that animation with her hands up, she catches it. So I've been in a match where I shoot somebody, they catch it, they shoot it back at me, I catch it, and we just go back and forth for a couple times.
Crazy.
It's it adds to it. It's fun. It's really, really fun.
That mode sounds good. They do fun stuff with this. I might have to check that out.
And I want to say it's best. It's like first to 20 kills or something like that.
But you were saying on
and
this
then
one you can run out of snowballs, right? So you could have somebody who's like biding their time or catching them, and they have the ammo, and nobody else has the ammo.
Well, yeah. Well, you can stockpile 3.
Okay.
And there's little piles of
So you
snow,
can go
and you
replenish.
just refill.
Yeah. I got you.
And same thing is if you charge the ultimate move, then you just have unlimited snowballs. And then the last one is Yeti Hunter, where it is again 5 of that same character. She has her normal like freezing powers though, because she either like basically blows. It's almost like liquid nitrogen, or you can basically shoot an icicle out of her gun. And you guys are hunting a Yeti, who is you've probably seen him. He's the giant like gorilla guy, but they have him skinned and themed to look like a Yeti. So the Yeti hunters, you have a stock of 5 lives. If the Yeti knocks out those 5 stocks, the Yeti wins, or survives the time limit, the Yeti wins. The Yeti's health bar is at the top. If the hunters hunt down the Yeti and deplete his life, the hunters win. The Yeti also, there's like these big T-bone stakes that'll like appear in certain areas of the map, and you collect 5 of those stakes, and you basically go into like your berserk mode, which you do a heck of a lot more damage.
As the Yeti?
You're just like swinging your arms back and forth, and you can leap in on them, and so that becomes, basically your best way to defend. And that can be extremely fun as well.
That sounds good.
Doing all of these game modes, there's I want to say there's 8 challenges that are specific to those, and if you at least do 6 of them, you unlock a special like winter themed skin for a specific character. But if you do, one of them, it might unlock like a winter themed spray or something like this or that for, depending on which other challenges you do. But we've had a lot of fun playing with those.
Good. They seem to get like the Halloween one is the only one I played, but this is like a fun holiday hangout. Hit up your friends while you're at home and play this type stuff. And with it being cross-platform, anybody that has one of the things and can get on there with you. So they really seem to be onto it with this one. And they got past we joked about the rocky start, but it sounds like they've hit their stride with it.
Yeah, it's actually been doing pretty good.
And is the whole fam playing this one, these modes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah. Throwing snowballs at the Yeti. That one sounds like my kind of jam. I feel like I want to get in and do some runs of that.
That one's real good. I think you've got 7 or 8 days left to get on there and play some of those.
Gotcha. Does that go towards your like seasonal thing or?
Yeah. Well, you still have like daily challenges and things like that. So, usually one of the daily challenges win a match. So if you are playing one of those game modes and you win, that'll hit one of those dailies, and completing the dailies. I think all you have to do is complete 3 of the dailies, and you unlock, or it gives you points toward the battle pass. Is how it works now.
But it goes towards like the regular battle pass, like the big thing.
Yes.
It's very cool. Sounds good. I'm glad you guys are digging Overwatch. I think you're going to be talking about it on our year in review show.
Yeah,
might be one of your titles, your famous titles.
Yesterday, I booted up Christmas Nights.
Saw the picture on Instagram. It looked good.
And it had me type in the date and everything. And so if you look at that picture, it will actually say December 25th of 2023.
As the good Lord intended, a year ahead of time. He's time skipping.
Christmas Nights is 2023. I said 2023, didn't I?
You skipped ahead. You're taking us ahead to the year of our Lord.
It's the new. I'm dreaming. I'm
Going
dreaming.
along. I wasn't questioning anything.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll save this same
Um,
episode for the end of the year next year. Be talking about Halo, Overwatch, and Christmas Nights
Christmas nights.
and Chocobo GP.
It's the same as Nights. It's just as good as game, just with that different coat
Christmas
of paint,
skin.
Christmas music in there. It's a good ass time.
Christmas Nights.
Nights is
I
a
have
damn
Christmas
good game.
Nights. I haven't played it in 25 years. I need to break that one out.
Pop it in.
I should.
Pop it in. I think you'll like it. And lastly, another game that I started playing, I think toward the end of last week, was Parasite Eve. Strictly because the game literally opens up Christmas Eve.
You start off in the Opera House or something, right? Right after that? Yeah.
Yes.
You're playing on PS1?
Yes, but I'm playing
Vita.
on the Vita. But that is a good ass game. Oh my gosh. It's one of those.
Just wait till you get to 2, and then
I was about to say I've heard a lot. I've heard 2. It kind of goes off the rail, kind of conforms more of to like the Resident Evil stuff. Is not as great, and then 3 apparently is really kind of off the rails, and is kind of
very, very different.
Yeah, I've heard it's decent as if you think about it as its kind of its standalone action game. It's not a bad game, but as a whole, if you're looking at it as a Parasite Eve game, it's very odd. But as far as this first Parasite Eve game, it is very, very good. And aside from the polygonal models of the characters, and the jank that kind of comes with polygonal characters of that time, everything else in this game actually looks really freaking good. The backgrounds, the CGI, cutscenes and things like that, of course, kind of show the age of that time, but they still actually look really good. A lot of the animations, because the main character, Aya Brea, is a NYPD officer, and there's a lot of getting from point A to point B in a police car that's done in engine PS2. It's not like a cutscene or anything. And a lot of the motion and the actions and the conversations that happen in the car and everything going around as the car's driving, all of that looks really, really good. And it was one of those things. It did come out, fall of 1998, I want to say. So, I mean, I guess later in the PS1's life, but not like super late.
I think it was the same year it came out with Xenogears, because I remember getting Xenogears that summer.
The Parasites of the Eve still?
Yes.
1998. September 9th, 1998.
Yes. And I was saying how blown away I am at the backgrounds and the visuals, cutscenes and things like that still just look amazing.
Music's Yoko Shimomura.
Oh yeah, and the music too. So short rundown if you've never played Parasite Eve. Like I said, Aya Brea, she doesn't know a lot about her past. You start off the game, like I said, Christmas Eve night. Some dude has, I guess, pestered you into going on a date, so you are going to the opera. You go into the opera. Things are normal until they aren't. One of the opera singers does her little solo, and people just start spontaneously combusting.
That's such a cool F&B too.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was. And everyone except for like you and your boyfriend have burst into flames. You tell him to get out because he's freaking out. And somehow you have in your inventory you've brought your baton and your pistol to the opera, so you rush the stage and confront this mysterious woman calling herself Eve, and you fight with her, and then the rest of the game pretty much goes on from that. You progress through different days. Eve is essentially, I wouldn't say she's not spreading like a plague or anything. She's basically forcing things to evolve around her, because it's it's really an odd story. It's about like mitochondria evolving and taking over as like the main cells of the body and evolving things. So that's the other thing, is there's lots of they're not FMV cutscenes, but they're, you know, like PS1 CGI cutscenes of these normal things like rats or dogs or things transforming into these grotesque beasts, and those are pretty crazy and graphic, and again still hold up.
Yeah, still trigger the imagination.
You're like, oh my gosh.
You need to stream some of this. I would watch some Parasite Eve. I didn't get very far into the game.
I have just started day 4, and I believe there are 6 days. So it's one of those things where when I was looking up stuff on it, apparently at the time it wasn't greatly received, and in fact some people criticized it for being too short of a game. But
I mean, Square Enix is like churning out these RPG epics, so
yeah,
we're expecting.
But this was also the time where Square Enix was actually taking a chance on different things like Parasite Eve,
cool shit,
Vagrant Story,
Chocobo Racing,
all these different really great games.
Einhander.
The battle system is one of those that it's both bad and good at the same time. It's really hard to explain. So to do anything with Aya, you have to go into a menu and like manually reload. There's not like a reload button. If you are...
You assign the weapon, the ammo or something like that, right?
Yeah, you have to like manually reload it by like going in there, hitting reload, and pushing down in order to tell it how many bullets you want to, put back in the gun. She will actually reload during a fight, but it wastes time and opens you up to an attack, because think of random encounters from like Final Fantasy VII or any of the Final Fantasies. But it's more action oriented, so you can actually move around them. You have basically like 3 different bars. You have a like a time attack bar that fills up, and once it's full all the way, you can take your action, your HP, and then your parasite energy, which basically acts as your MP, but that also refills over time in battle if you use some of your powers, which are kind of your standard heal, barrier, slow, and things like that. And you get, as you level up, you get more of those. So
what is that in the story? The parasite points or whatever, is that just what the mitochondria in you or something like that is?
Yeah. So upon your first meeting with Eve, she alludes to that you should know her, that your mitochondria are beginning to awaken, and at this point, Aya doesn't know what's going on. She understands that she's like, why do I have Why can't I use these powers?
Well, she didn't explode.
Why
so
can I
that's...
fight you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But none of that has been explained up to this point. She keeps having like random flashbacks, but it's just her in a hospital as a child. So
Gotcha.
And the other thing is you basically all of your guns and everything have an effective range. So when you go to use your firearm or baton, the baton, of course, you have to be like really close to the enemy. Otherwise, there basically is like this dome-shaped grid that appears around Aya, and if you're in range of enemies, you can actually move. There's like a red cursor that'll pop up, and you can choose this enemy or this enemy, as long as they're within your range, and you can fire at them. Guns may do one fire. They may do a burst of like, two or something like that. You can get different mods eventually to, add capacity to your guns. You get bonus parasite or just what was it? Just bonus points, I guess. I think it was that you can upgrade your capacity for different guns.
Do you find those upgrades, or do you get them by experience?
You can find certain upgrades. There's certain like defense upgrades or things like that. You can scrap old equipment with tools and basically take the upgrades off old equipment, add it to your new stuff.
So there's some crafting.
Oh yeah, it's actually pretty ahead of its time. Like I said, there's some bad because some of the battles you'll get into wind up happening in very close quarters. There was one where I was literally on a chariot, like riding through Central Park,
as one does.
And I mean it's a tiny little freaking square, and you have to like really get into a specific one corner or another, and you have to know where those attacks are coming, or else you're just going to take that damage.
Damn.
And there's a couple things like that where it winds up forcing you into an area for the fight, and it winds up being really cramped. So just about no matter what you're going to do, you're going to take a cheap hit. But I'm actually thoroughly enjoying this game. It's a
Parasite
great
Eve.
game.
I know it's always mentioned as like, we need a new one, or we need remasters, or make it available in some service that we might or might not be paying
Yeah.
for anymore.
Oh, Square's track record. They'll make it available, physical for $85 for, 24-hour period. Oh, wait,
It's
no, it's
gone,
already
sorry.
sold out in 10 minutes.
Parasite Eve collection with third birthday.
Oh, third birthday.
It's so love or hate. I hear people who love it.
And that's what I was telling Cesar. I've heard is if you look at it just objectively as a action game, it's not bad. If you look at it with the whole of Parasite Eve, it's not that great. But I have all of them digitally, which you can still get via PS3.
You can pay legitimate money for legitimate copies.
Yep.
Parasite Eve. Sounds good. Anything else, Brent? That's it. He brought us home.
That's it.
You guys got anything else you want to add? Let's get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week. We will catch you next week. Bye.
See you.
Adios.